Hello, we're students in St Wilfrid's and we don't think we're worth less than any other school in the UK. Here's why.
I think it goes against the point of having a state school system just because it was set up to help deal with inequality in our society. And if the state system itself is unfair, then it contradicts the principle of its existence, that everybody should have the same chance to do well in life.
Yeah, because we can't really help where we're from, it's just how it's just happened. We shouldn't feel just because we're from a certain area that we're worth any less than anyone else, and it shouldn't determine it doesn't contribute to how we act towards education or how we feel towards education. We all put the same amounts of effort in as anyone else would do, so surely we should be treated the same way.
Yeah, I think especially as we are the future in terms of funding the country economically in the future, we are the next generation to do that. And how are we supposed to do that if we're not getting the grades that we could in order to go to a good university, in order to get a good job, to have the money to pay it?
Yeah, I think in the outside world we're going to be compared the exact same way, so why shouldn't we get the same opportunities? They can then come and say, oh, I had this though, but then you can't. We have to say, oh, my school didn't offer that because my school didn't have the money to offer that. But then we're still judged in the same way, we're still going for the same job, we're still going for the same companies, but we haven't had the same upbringing.
Especially as well, our parents are paying as much tax as all the other parents are of the schools who do get funded. So why shouldn't we get the same kind of reward, I guess, in a way, as they do?
If they're putting in the same effort, then we should get the same outcomes then.
Yeah.
It's just generally unfair because you pay the same taxes and you put the same effort in, but you don't get the same amount of funding and that. It's just.
Well, I worked out, I think it was, if we got the proper funding, it would be 1.9 million, I think, just for the school, which is a large amount of money to do altogether. I mean, what would that go towards? New computers, better software, stuff like that. I mean, they'd be able to run more courses for sixth form.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have French.
Yeah, definitely.
As a country, do you want to be just producing people, successful entrepreneurs and people like that from one area of the country? Because it's not just, from our point of view, from a selfish point of view, but also it's better for the country if they've got more people who've had the education which they need to go on to compete on the world stage. It doesn't look very good for us as a country if all of the people who represent us are from London or from more funded areas. It doesn't look very good for us as a country.
Yeah, because it's limiting other areas, so it's also just a matter of being treated quite fairly. As you said, we pay the same taxes as everyone else. Surely we should be entitled to the same things everyone else does. It's just a matter of being treated fairly and equally.
And also they're saying that they're going to start doing something about it in April 2017, is that right? But that's not really going to affect any of us because by that time we would have, you guys will be gone. We would have done our exams.
Yeah.
So it's not whatever's going to happen. It needs to happen now. We don't have time to wait. Otherwise, we're not going to get the benefit of it.
It seems like they've kind of started at the top and worked their way down to the bottom. You can't just change something at the top and expect everything at the bottom to just fall into place. You need to start at the bottom and work up.
It's quite disappointing actually that we're not even being thought of.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost like being left out. They put the priority on the top people and we're just there.
And we're on a waiting list. That's why it's happening. So later on in the year, in the next year or so, we're just kind of pushed aside, quite frankly. And surely we should be, somewhat of equal priority. Surely if the higher up people get something, and we're not even lower. I don't even want to say that we're lower because we're not. Well, exactly. What makes, just because it's something dated back from ages ago, shouldn't mean that it affects us today. It's a new era. We should all be being treated equally because that's just the way we are nowadays.
Yeah. And the method of taking the money from those who are getting more and then giving this to us is not what we're asking. We're asking for an equal balance. We get the same as them, so there's no difference at all. We get the same education. We get the same. Everything's the same.
We're just asking to get the actual amount that we should have and that we don't have.
Who says we're going to have teachers if it goes on like this? Who says we're going to have all these different things? Because it just gets tougher and tougher. So it kind of seems like we should actually have more of this to definitely make sure that we definitely get an actual education altogether.
And also, I kind of think, well, if we have the money to go and bomb Syria, why don't we have the money to come and pay us and get what we deserve?
Yeah.
Because when we apply for universities and we don't have as good a grade as the other people in the schools who are getting enough money, they're not going to think, oh, well, we'll let them off because they come from West Sussex.
Yeah,
they're not going to
exactly,
think
yeah.
that at all.
No.
They just care about our grades.
They're going to judge us the exact same way as them.
Thank you for watching, and if you've agreed with what we've talked about, please press the like button and write to your local MP.
Because with your help, we can make a change, because we are not worth less.